Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video. Today we start the series on shore jigging. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. And this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. Today we start the series on shore jigging. And the introduction is usually where I kind of establish a few points and all that, get some points out of the way. So, yeah, before we actually start and discuss the first part, or the rods, we are going to be talking about, well, first, let's set expectations, okay? So, this whole series is I've done like 101 series wherein I break down each and every single aspect of a specific discipline. This is no different. So in this series of videos, we will actually go bare bones basic when it comes to these things, so that you guys that are thinking of getting into this, you get your facts correct, you get things straight, you have a really good idea of what to look for when you go to the shop and shop around. Okay, so rod requirements, reel requirements, and this, and then examples of rods that I have, which, by the way, I would say some are practical, some are not. Okay, but I will explain each and every single aspect of that whole thing. There are some unicorns that you're going to see, and that's that. Okay, so bare bones basic. This is aimed towards those guys that, again, want to get in, or those that are actually kind of just started and looking for content to see exactly how you progress, to check to see if you're doing things okay, kind of like a helping hand just to assist you going forward. And those guys that are still thinking about sitting on the fence and thinking if you take the plunge or whatnot, not so much for the experts. And we know that there's a lot of experts out there, so not specifically for those guys. Okay, so this is like literally for those guys that have very little idea. Use this as the base, and then build your own style, progress, and then you can find ways to make things better. But the aim of these videos is to actually give you a solid base from which you can build on. Okay, so what is shore jigging? A very interesting question, which I think a lot of people will give you a lot of definitions and all this. And let me actually throw a wrench in a lot of people's definitions right there. Okay, so shore jigging specifically is a casting discipline. It is not a jigging discipline. Okay, it's not a vertical jigging discipline. It's a casting discipline, whether you like it or not. Okay, see, the length of the rod optimizes your cast, although the tip of the rod optimizes action. However, even if these rods actually say shore jigging, okay, you will find, like, even like seasoned veterans and experts out there, you will find them using this rod for stick baits and slim poppers. Okay, so the rods, they're basically delivery systems. What you put on the end is what defines it. If you're casting out a jig, you're shore jigging. Okay? But if you're casting out a popper, are you shore jigging? But no, but these rods do it. If you're stick baiting, are you shore jigging? No, but these rods do it. Okay? So by definition, short jigging has a lot to do with the lure that you put at the end of the rod. Now, let me go further. That longer shore jigging rods of up to what, 11, 12 feet, these versions of rods are actually called plugging rods. Same exact action, but they're more specialized, and they're used so that you can throw plugs farther. Okay, so I know a lot of people would probably say like, but you know, these brands, they say shore jigging, even shore slow. Yes, but you know, at the end of the day, these are the same rods that the people that sell them throw plugs and poppers and jigs. There are some that use soft plastics on them and all that. So the rods are just delivery systems. Okay, they're optimized maybe for the softness of the tip so that they could work slow jigs better. It could be that there are, you know, for fast jigs or for to work the plugs better. But at the end of the day, these rods are not really optimized for anything else except for casting. They're casting rods first before the lure working thing. Okay, so that's hopefully that's something that clears things up. Now, this rod is 7 feet. If I put a reel on this, I cast out a jig. Guess what? I'm shore jigging, but it's not optimized for shore jigging. Now, when I go on a boat, I put a jig on it, I drop it down, I work the jig on the bottom. Am I jigging? Of course I am, you know, but this rod is a generalistic approach rod. It might be able to do the thing, but it won't do it as well as something that's optimized for this sort of thing. So it's a given that these rods will do a better job. Okay, these rods will do a better job at shore jigging because they'd be able to cast farther and they'd be able to work the lures better. But all it is a delivery system. So the whole package is the delivery system. Now, as with any system, it pairs up with something like the reel. So for spinning, this is a 5,000 sized reel. It pairs up well with this rod right here. Okay, and this is designed so that you could fling the lures like really far. Okay, so this rod 5,000, so this is like in the medium to heavy range. And then there are rods such as these. This is a Daiwa XR. This is 8'6", and it has a casting weight of 2 to 15 grams. So when I feel like casting really tiny, we'll get to that, tiny tungsten jigs, I have quite a few from Sea Falcon that I use. These rods are prime. Okay, so I have two in that segment. I have this, and this is 8'6", and then I have another one which is a cross stage, and this has a solid tip from Major Craft. So this was when Major Craft was actually making cross stages as something that was almost towards the top of the line. Okay, so so medium, you saw the heavy stuff with this one, and then I have two. I think this is the heavier one here, I think. Wait. Yeah, okay, so another one of the medium stuff, which we will talk about. This is up to 60 grams. This one, this is a bit of the lighter ones. Actually, this is something that honestly, funny story. I forgot I had this guy. Okay, so this is up to 28 grams, so 7 to 28, and awesome range actually. So this is one of the for the lighter stuff, and this is the Explorer 95 ml. Really, really good rod. Very light, very sensitive, very well balanced rod. We will talk about this as well, and one of those rods that, you know, if you have the money, I would recommend, but for most people, it's actually very impractical. Okay, because there are cheaper rods that would be able to do the same work, and they won't break the bank. So, although I would wholeheartedly recommend Yamaga blanks for this segment of fishing. Oops, sorry, the mic. So although I could wholeheartedly recommend Yamaga blanks for this type of fishing, it's actually quite expensive. So if you're kind of not so sure about, you know, getting your feet wet in this sort of thing, I'd say, you know, kind of go for a more practical what do you call this? More practical choices or options that you have. Okay, this is a unicorn. This is an first generation Eradicator. It ran for about 6 months before they pulled it out. A really, really good rod, well balanced, 7 to 30 gram. So actually something that I want to, the range, my favorite range. Okay, so that's I have a lot of rods that actually service the kind of range, and this is one of those that are just, this is just fantastic. And if you could see, this is actually also a bit longer than the rest, and I could tell you that thing has caught me like a 25 kilo kingfish at one point. So, you know, fishing with 20 gram jigs. And this is one of those that I actually fish a lot of 20 to 25 gram jigs on, and it's an overhead. It pairs with a 200 Conquest that I have. This is another overhead, and also it's kind of shorter, but also an overhead. And you know, I'll show this to you guys as well. One of the ballistics, the earliest, I think the first ballistic that was ever sold that's an overhead. So that's one. So as you can see, all the rods, like all my Yamagas are like the older models. They have since changed, but they're still very excellent rods. My workhorse for light shore jigging is the Sky Road, and this is also discontinued. This is the Sky Road Surf. Okay, optimized for flatfish, flounder, kochi. What's kochi again? Flatheads. Okay. So all of these actually have pairs of reels, and then I'll actually get the reels and all that. One of my favorites, this is the Cross Ride, the older version, and this one is PE1 to 2.5, this medium, so 15 to 50 on this range. Actually, I think at one point this is the lightest of the Cross Rides. Excellent rod, and at one point this was the top end for major craft in the slow jigging, sorry, the shore jigging segment. Now the new generation Cross Ride, so the upgrade of this one right here is this, and quite similar also. It's maximum 40 grams. This is a little bit shorter, and 9'4". This one is I think this is 9'6". 10 feet, sorry. So this is 6 inches shorter. But guess what? This thing is way lighter, or the 5G blank. It's actually way lighter than this, and this kind of pushed it to the realm of the Yamagas. So we're gonna talk about those rods. We're gonna talk about the reels that go with them, the lures, assist hooks, of course, the jigs, connections, and other specific things for this. It's actually kind of a big topic to bite onto, but hopefully I do a good job to justify your time. Okay, so also for shore jigging, the speed of the reels is at least an HG. So fast reels, slow reels like a power gear will give you a disadvantage. Okay, now when you're casting out, okay, so we'll use this as an example. So this end right here with the swivel is you, and this end right here with the solid ring is the lure. Okay, so when you cast out, and mind you, you're casting out way far. Okay, so when you're casting out, it forms an arc. Okay, not a straight line. It forms an arc. Okay, so right before it hits the water, it goes like that. Okay, it goes like that because you're casting out, and then boom. So as it's dropping, it's actually forming this sort of thing. Okay, and then it goes like that, right? If you don't touch the line, underneath it'll look like this because your braid actually floats. Okay, so it goes like that. Now you're gonna have to reel all that slack and some stretch until you feel the jig, and that's very important. Now when you're casting out and then there's wind, it goes like that. See, it's not like that, it goes like that. Plus the depth, it goes like that. So you're gonna have to reel in a lot. Sometimes the belly actually forms so much that it goes like this. Okay, it goes like that because of the wind. So an HG will get you the slack faster, but an XG is actually the most ideal. So this reel that I have here, this is one of the reels I actually use a lot. It's an HG. Okay, so in less windy conditions, this is something that I actually use on this one right here. Okay, now on really strong conditions, I have XGs. I think it's I know it is the Twin Power XD that I use, and that's an XG. So most of the 3000 reels that I use, especially when I go light shore jigging, all XGs. With the smaller stuff, HGs work well. Okay, with the micro stuff, but that is again, for micro stuff, you're not casting too far, because you're dealing with, like, for the micro stuff, I actually use like 5 to 3, 3, 5, 7 grams, and then anything above 7 or 10 grams, 15, 10 grams, 15, and sometimes 20. I use my 7 to 35 outfits, and I could get really specific. Sometimes I actually carry multiple rods with me. Like, take for example, for 20 grams, I prefer the Abu Garcia bait caster, So I usually carry 2 or 3 rods, and then each rod, I kind of know that it feels better with a certain weight. So you could get really specific with that or not, But the point is, you have a rod like this that has a range of 7 to 35, let's say, and you're able to work lighter jigs, given that you have the right reel for the job as well. So end line, okay, so you have the right reel, the line, to be able to utilize the whole range, 7 to 35. And that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot of area that you could cover. That's a lot of fish that you could target. That's a lot of jigs that you could use. And most importantly, it's this one right here. Now, if you know how to use this thing, you can catch everything from horse eye mackerel, big eye scad, which is this is what this is designed for. I've caught barracuda. I've caught kingfish. I've caught small cobia, and a lot more. Really, the spangled emperors. Like, this jig is so important to the shore jigging here. It's unbelievable. I'll tell you the story of how this came to be here in the UAE as well. Our version is different from everywhere else in the world, and you can verify that with Major Craft too. So that this 20-gram jig from Cultiva, very effective. Although this is actually a shore jig that's it's designed for shore jigging, so it's one of those jigs that work really, really well. The profile, the size, the weight, as far as the weight is concerned, it's very easy to cast. For our friends in the States, this is 28 grams, or 20 grams. 1 ounce is 28. Okay, so this is just below an ounce. I think about 3/4 ounce or something like that. So 20 grams, very, very useful. It can work, like these rods can all work slow jigs. Okay, I know there are rods that are specifically made for shore slow, but all it is a softer tip. Okay, but one technique that you could use even with stiffer rods is long fall. Okay, so again, we'll talk about that. So 30-gram jig, as you can see, it's still small, very compact jigs, and compared to something like this, which is 35, you can see the difference. Okay, again, these sort of things just kind of work well. And as far as the attraction that they have for fish, I mean, you have realistic ones like this, and you can see that the size is very applicable for literally anywhere in the world. There's a segment of jigging where you just cast and reel. Okay, one of the best lures to use for that is this sharpshooter from Sea Falcon. This is designed to be cast out, and by the way, shore jigging is so diverse, you wouldn't believe it. There are jigs that you could cast out and reel, and this is actually very good for it. Now, shore jigging, it's basically kind of like using spoons. That's it. So if you're familiar with casting spoons, you can shore jig. Only you have rods that are optimized for it. Koika is one of my favorites. This is a 30-gram model. There are 20 grams and 15-gram models of these excellent jigs. Although the smaller sizes might have been, what do you call this? Discontinued. This one, as you can see, is a 20-gram, but okay, so this is a 20-gram. This is from Underground, Thai brand. But the thing with this is that it's 20-gram, but look at the size. As you can see, this whole shore jigging thing, especially, it's so diverse. Okay, 30-gram, but it's small profile. This is from Sea Falcon Peche. Again, this is one of those reels that you could cast out, reel, and all that. 10-gram is so tiny, and I used one of these jigs to actually catch a nice size stingray. Compared that to something like this. Okay, this is Speed Drop from Mizuchi. 10 grams, and you can see it's small and it's wide. Again, very diverse set of jigs that you could find here. It's crazy. For the heavy stuff, you can use up to this size if the place that you're fishing in allows you. But wow, if I could, if I had a place, my reel for that heavy rod is this one. I've modified this reel to be able to cast lighter stuff. So looking forward to actually using this, hopefully soon. But right now we're in a time where kind of like this place is a war zone. So it's not safe to actually go out somewhere remote. But as soon as it kind of dies down, we'll see what we can do. But definitely will be taking you guys when I do that. And then after that, we could just add this in the section, but yeah, we'll be discussing all of that: rods, reels, line. The line system for this is actually kind of interesting, and that's a huge discussion on itself. There are tricks to this whole thing to be able to maximize, your usage. As far as assist hooks are concerned, there are some differences, and like a theory and your approach to the shore that's kind of different because you're exposed to snags, you're exposed to drops and stuff like that, different terrains on the bottom. So quite a long discussion about quite a few things, really. And yeah, that's something that we're gonna be talking about soon. So hopefully I do justice for your time that's spent watching these videos. And yeah, that's it for this introduction. Again, I'd like to thank the guys that have pulled the trigger on the memberships. They help move this channel forward. And there's two choices for the memberships. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. But those memberships actually really help push this channel forward because they're directly supporting me, directly supporting the channel. And that's something that's badly needed, especially in this kind of times right now. Another way to help the channel, of course, is to get the hat that's displayed on the bottom of this video. Now, we're almost to 24,000, and then after that there'll be like 1,000 more subscribers, and then I pull the hat off, and then we'll do something else. But it's a very good souvenir. That's A. And B, also it helps the brand kind of get out into the real world from being virtual, which is just here in the channel. So big help, really. Kind of like a talking point, so that it's a way for us to attract more subscribers and get more attention to this channel. Okay, so that's why it's actually break even. Guys, it's actually break even for me. So just as long as I don't earn from that, okay, and then do you call this I don't lose either. Okay, so you get away with a hat, the logo of the channel, and then talking points. At the back there's like 25k to signify that you have the hat, or you're a member of the community before we went over 25,000, which is really probably within the year we'll hit 25,000, no doubt. Okay, if you learned from this channel, if you learned from this video, even if it's just a small factoid, give it a thumbs up. It's very important for the YouTube algorithm. Like, share to your friends, family that want to get into this. I'm sure you know someone. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so that you learn more. Alrighty, and then when we actually upload the next videos in this series, you will get notified. Alrighty, and when you subscribe, actually click on that bell button. Actually, for you guys that have subscribed as well, check if your bell icon is highlighted so that you get the notifications when the videos are published. Alrighty, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed. Don't forget.